Hi, Dr. Marcie here from Behavior and Beyond, where I bring you realistic ideas for real life behavior. And today is another conversation with a phenomenal parent. Sneha is the mom of two, and she herself has her own personal journey. But before we get into her path as a human being brave in the world, we're going to chat about her kids and see what's going on there. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marcie, for having me.
Absolutely. So you have two boys.
Yes.
Right? A 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. Tell me what's going on with them.
Well, my 4-year-old is pretty energetic and a happy person, more of an opposite spectrum where he just is strong-willed. And my older one is kind of strong-willed too, but he has been showing some social anxiety kind of behavior. But when he's in the classroom and I talk to his teacher, and he is pretty much like talking all day and making friends, and he's very comfortable at school.
Great.
At home, he's very comfortable and he's playing all day long. He will talk to us. The problem comes when either when we are going to somebody's house, or if there are kids playing outside, or the kids in the bus, he just does not want to interact with them.
So what does he do? Right? So if you walk out of your house, because you're in Atlanta, you're in the suburbs, right? So you're on a street where, living in Brooklyn, kids don't go outside and just run down the street and play. But in your town, you can just like open up the door and there are kids down the street, right? Yes. And you're like, oh, go play. What is he doing?
So there are like kids playing in everybody's yards. So I say, let's go play with somebody. Do you want me to come with you? And he's like, no, I'm just happy here. I don't want to play. And 1 or 2 times he tried playing, but he shut himself and he doesn't want to play anymore. And I tried to see if something happened, but nothing did. Like I couldn't figure out what's going on.
Got it. So he's withdrawing from the other kids.
Yes.
Does he want to be with you, or he's also happy to be by himself?
He's happy to be by himself. He likes to play with us. We spend most of our evenings entertaining him.
Okay. So social anxiety is a huge topic. There are more and more kids that are either, their parents are noticing more anxiety, or are actually being diagnosed with anxiety disorders and challenges there. Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, know that you're not alone, right? That lots of other parents are in the struggle trying to figure it out as well. Thank you for coming and talking to me about it, because it can be hard to have this conversation.
Right.
The really good news is that he has the skill set. That at home he's willing to be chatty and engaged and social, and in school.
Right.
So that says to me, okay, he's able to have friends. It's not just mom and dad and his brother that he wants to hang out with. So what's the difference between school and, running out down the street that changes it for him? And so my guess is the structure of it, or the familiarity of it. How often is he playing with the kids down the street, or how often does he see them?
He sees them every day. We have moved here, and we moved here from Las Vegas. Now I live in Atlanta, and there our backyards were closed up, so we didn't really have like kids playing on the street. So for the last year, we have seen more kids playing in their backyards. Our backyards are attached, and we see them every day, and he sees them every day.
So that familiarity piece isn't a difference between school and these kids. So we can take that off the table, which is great as a factor, right? The things that we can remove is also good. Right. The other might just be a preference. He knows you, he knows how to engage with you. And because growing up, until 5, that wasn't really an option. And now it is, it might be a skill that he needs to learn of, well, I don't know how to walk up to, a quote unquote stranger and just say, hey, what are you doing? Or, hey, let's play that without a structure around it. So does he do better if it's a play date, if it's a set up time to play and hang out with the kid, as opposed to like, let me walk into their backyard, or let me just see what's happening?
I haven't had too many play dates in a long time, but he does do better in play dates.
Yeah.
also like in other structured situations, like we take him to tennis class or baseball, he loves playing, but he will not talk to the other people. And in tennis, it doesn't matter as much, but in baseball, like you are a team, he will not interact.
And sitting in the dugout, you're hanging out for a while in baseball.
Yeah.
So I would start with play dates because he's really comfortable at home and he's comfortable with you guys. I'd invite kids over, kids from the baseball team, kids from the neighborhood of, hey, come on over here. And I would do 1, maybe 2 kids at a time, but start really small and build up so that he can become comfortable, right? What anxiety really is a thought loop, right? We get stuck in a thought about the future of, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What if I say something that doesn't make sense to them? What if I say something and it's a joke and they don't laugh? What if they want to play something I don't like? And they're just thoughts that he's getting stuck in. And we don't know which one he's stuck in, so we can't pull it out and stop it.
Right.
But what we can do is put him in situations that we know he's comfortable in. He's comfortable at home playing. Yes. And start from just one small step up, just a little bit, to say, okay, now we're going to bring in a new kid and have it be your next door neighbor's child, so that he can be friends with him, so he can run into the backyard. Or one of the kids from the baseball team, have them come over. So it's that small step up that will hopefully generalize. Right. The other step of it is to have conversations with him about how to make friends and how to talk about friends, and not in a, adult stuffiness where like, let's sit down on the couch and have a 30-minute conversation about how to make friends. Not what I'm talking about. But on your way to baseball, be like, oh my gosh, I wonder if, pick a kid's name that he's friends with. I wonder if John's going to be there. And if he is, you could be like, hey, John, what'd you do this weekend? And your son might be like, whatever, Mom. And roll his eyes. I mean, he's 6, he's not 10 yet, but he still might. Just like, Mom, whatever. But if you keep giving him these little suggestions of, oh, I saw that our neighbor was out there playing with a T-ball before. Maybe you can bring over your ball and be like, hey, let's have a catch. And literally give him the language that he could say.
That's interesting.
It might not be what he decides to do, but then at least if you keep giving him, and I would repeat the same phrases. I would give him maybe 5 different things he can start with, but then he'll know how to start a conversation. He'll know how, it's like us as adults, when we go to a networking event, we all have the same 5 starter conversations of, hi, what do you do? Hi, where do you live? Right? We have that starting point, and from there we can dive. He might need some of that starting point skill.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I've never thought about that. Yeah. That's a lot to work on.
Good. And then the other piece, just to tack it on for you so you get it all at once, to do with that is if you're like, our neighbors, they were playing T-ball, and what if you brought over your bat and baseball and said, I just came back from baseball practice, want to play? And go, and I know that he'd be so excited to play with you. So you ramp up the positive, you ramp up the story of this will work. You ramp up his confidence just so that he can start playing the story of, oh, if I say, hey, let's play catch, he's going to say yes. And if you start giving him those thoughts, hopefully whatever the anxious thoughts are that are repeating in his head, which aren't successful thoughts, will be replaced by the positive ones you're giving him.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yes, it does.
Sound possible?
Yes, I think it is possible.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. A question popped up in my mind is where it comes as a judgment sometimes, and I want to also stop that labeling, where if I am with someone and he's not talking to them and the other person asks me, is he shy? And then I'm like, yes, he's shy. And then he has this whole label of shy. How to get away from that?
I would deny the label, right? And I love this question, just so you know, because the more we label our kids with things like shy, I mean, label your kid amazing and fantastic and a superstar all day long. But the more we label them as shy or quiet or withdrawn, and even things like they're a picky eater, all of those things that we say about our kids and they hear, that then starts to become their identity. So if he's not talking, just behaviorally, don't talk for him. Okay. So if you're meeting someone and you're like, hey guys, most parents will then be like, have your son say hi, be like, say hi. And when he doesn't, he goes, oh, he's just shy, or say, we really prompt it. Just wait. If you don't give him that, will he eventually say hi himself? If you don't fill that void and let everyone feel a little bit uncomfortable, what happens? He might step up and step in a way that really surprises you. If the other person or you have the inclination to label him as shy, you know, if it's you, don't do it. And it sounds like you don't, which is awesome.
Yeah, I just don't want to, like, but I see like other people saying it, and then I'm like, what should I say next? And
I would say no.
Comes out.
I would say no. Apparently he just lost his words right now. Right. So I would make it about this moment of,
right.
I'm not sure why he's not talking to you, but no, he's not shy. He chats up a storm at home or at school, you know, at recess, he's a chatterbox. Like I mean, and maybe you don't want to label him a chatterbox because that has negative connotations too, but you want to go to the other end of like, yeah, this is interesting.
Right.
As opposed to this is who he is. Because it's not. It's just in that moment.
Right.
Right. Or, you know, once he gets warmed up, you know, he'll be your best friend. So label the things that you want him to be. Oh, is he shy? Does he not really like talking to, you know, when he meets new friends, it's different. But once he gets to know you, he'll be your best friend. Because that's, again, making the story that you want to see, which makes it more likely that it'll happen.
Right.
Right? Which, you know, before we actually started recording, you and I were chatting a little bit, and you know, because you just went through this, that part of doing things that are hard, right? And right now it feels hard for your son to talk to a stranger, to go up to the neighbors for whatever reason. The way you get over that hard thing is by going and doing it.
Right.
Right. And you had a lovely story of how you just did that. Right. Which I loved. If you wanted to share, you want to share it?
I don't know. Do you want me to share it?
Yeah. Tell them how and because to me, when we as adults, when you as a parent are brave, that then shows your kids, even when they're not there, when they don't know the story, they can feel it in you, that you're overcoming your own fears, that you're only overcoming your own obstacles. So I would love for you to share it as a model to other parents that, you know, do the hard thing. We ask our kids to do it all the time. We have to do it too. And so you just did it. Tell us the story.
Okay. So last year I was starting my own business, and I knew everybody was saying that we have to go on videos and talk. And I had labeled myself as a writer, and I didn't want to do any of the videos and not to be seen. I just didn't want to be seen. But I knew that was stopping me. And I went to a conference. It was a transformational conference, and they had a question about what is your biggest fear? And I raised my hand, and I was almost hoping that nobody picks me. And they did pick me. And I raised my hand and I said that I am afraid of public speaking. And I said that in front of 100 people. And they brought me up on stage and they made me say that in front of 100 people. And I just said that and I just cried in front of 100 people. And now I smile because I have like literally worked on my fear for the past year. And I got so much love in that moment. It was just amazing. But I came back home. I made connections at that conference in a very different, loving way because of stepping up and talking about my fear. And I ended up doing videos and interviewing 35, 40 women on live camera. And from then on, I have been working on improving my public speaking skills and my camera skills. And
I love it. And I love it. And I love this story in connection with what's going on with your son, because it's the same challenge. Right. For you, it was getting on stage or speaking in a bigger, more public forum.
Right.
But for your son, it's still speaking. And it's that same connection that so you can really relate to it. So I love that. And it's going to be the same steps for him to take that you took. It's just a matter of you being the one who pushes him to do it, because he's such a little peanut right now.
Right. That
he needs your help in order to be brave. He needs your help in order to make friends and speak and know what to say. Right. In that first conference, when you had to get on stage and they handed you the microphone, whoever was running that conference said to you, just tell them you're scared. It gave you the words of what to say. And you said, I'm scared of speaking in public. And then they probably asked you another question. So you talked a little bit, but it was guided. Do the same thing for your son, and it will change his capacity to connect and speak in public. Sound good?
Yes, it does.
All right, let me know how it goes, because I love success stories.
Sure.
All right. And so I want to wrap up, because this feels like a really good couple steps for you to go start with. But I do know that part of your journey and your path is also to help parents, right? To create a life for parents that is less stressful. And while my specialty is specifically around the behavior with their children and as parents, you do it on a grander scheme. So I would love for you to share just a little bit of what it is that you do, so that if parents are looking for less stress in their life, if you're the right match for them, they will know to connect with you. So a summary of what it is you do in the world.
I help people with their anger and anxiety emotions, and I do it with helping people with understanding where their emotions come from, related to their past and whatever that has happened to them, or and to make them see how all these things have happened for them in their life, and just change their perspective.
Amazing.
Yeah. And
awesome.
And I do this based on my own experience of being a stressed working professional, becoming a parent and being more stressed, and then changing my perspective.
Awesome. And I think that, to me, that's where the best trainers come from, right? Because I also know that you've done your due diligence to get trained how to do this well.
Right.
And coming from your own experience of, you're also doing your work to face your own fears, to combat your own anxiety, to be braver yourself. Right. So why not work with somebody who walks their walk and talks their talk, so that you are walking hand in hand with your clients, which I love.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to wrap up here, because this has been awesome and great. And I think has had some really powerful nuggets for you to go do with your kiddo.
For sure.
All right. So thank you out there listening for joining us, because I know that your time is precious. And as a parent, there are so many things that you need to juggle and do. So I'm grateful that you spent your time here. I hope that you found some amazing nuggets for your family. If you're looking for more, I do conversations like this all the time in my small groups, where I get a small group of parents together, and for a month, we dive into the behaviors of what's going on with their kiddos, how behavior works, so you really feel empowered as a parent, knowledgeable and capable of going and changing your kids' lives to bring in more happiness and more amazing moments for your family. And if you want more information about my small groups, about being a less stressed parent, about anything else behavioral that I can share, please shoot me an email at info@behaviorandbeyond.net. And my team and I will make sure to get back to you with the answers that will help you the most. Have an amazing day. And remember, blue skies are ahead. We're going to get there together.